everybody.
Good afternoon, Instagram. Good afternoon, Facebook. We're here for another installation of our Monday afternoon business class with Beauty Business Culture. I'm Christine.
And I'm Anya.
This is my crazy friend.
We just did yoga, so we're
pumped. We're pumped. We took a shower. We're all clean, we're all fresh, and we're here to talk to you today about why you can't be friends with your clients. That's going to ruffle some feathers. Some of you are going to go, what? Can't be friends with my clients? What?
I know. I was telling Christine when I told my boyfriend we were going to talk to our listeners about why they can't be friends with their clients. He's like, oh no, some people aren't going to want to hear that, Anya. And I'm like, exactly.
Yeah, your shoulders are going to go up, your back's going to go up, and you're going to go, whoa. I am friends with all of my clients. What the hell do you mean by that?
Yeah, we're not here to tell you what you want to hear. We're here to tell you what you need to hear.
Right. We're here to teach you how to build a business that is profitable, where you have freedom and the income that you've gotten into this industry to make. So we have to start by correcting and fixing things that are a bit wrong with the customs of what we've been taught are appropriate in the salon industry. This one comes up for me all the time. I was saying to Anya, I really had to dig deep on this over the past 4 or 5 years to find where my resentment doing hair was coming from. There was times when I was ready to give up this industry, go back to school. I literally applied to Ryerson 1 year because I was that, like, I'm done. I'm doing something else. I can't do this anymore. Why? Because I was underpaid. I was making crappy money, and I was working my butt off. I was watching my husband work half as much as me and make twice as much as me.
Does this sound familiar to anybody out there? Yeah. I'm sure that it does.
And we work, as a hairdresser, we work really hard.
Yeah.
But part of my problem was that I was seeing a lot of friends and family. They were filling my schedule. They were coming in on Saturdays. They were, taking the spot of someone that would pay full price for the services. And I was doing it with a smile on my face, feeling like I had to service my family and friends.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a distinct border between clients or guests or customers and your family.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about being friends with your clients, people who you've met through the salon, having family and friends come in to see you, how we should approach that situation. Right. And the point here is it's not that there's a difference between being friends and there's a difference between being friendly.
Howdy.
Sorry.
Hi, Ernie.
We're live on
nice
the internet.
See you, but we're live on the internet. See you later.
That was the owner of Salons by JC. This is just real.
This is going to go in the blooper reel.
Yeah.
That's how real it is here.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a difference between being friends and being friendly.
Yeah.
Friendly's fine. Friends, well, we'll get into that. So,
yes.
Christine, cover why. What is wrong with being friends with your clients? What are the main issues we got?
Okay. So coming from a client perspective, going into other types of businesses, I'm going in there and I kind of want to be anonymous. I want to go in and I want to have all the amenities of a customer. So when you've been seeing someone for a long time and you start to treat them in a non-professional manner, AKA you're no longer sending your email marketing, you're no longer, giving them that reminder of their appointment, you're forgetting to do their massage at the end of their shampoo because you've been talking too much, you're cutting corners because you're comfortable, you forget to make them a coffee, maybe you talk all the way through their processing time, and so slowly people will go elsewhere to get their hair done where they can be treated like a customer again. So as much as people really act like they love that about you, you also need to have a balance of, okay, I'm going to sit down while you process, I'm going to read a book, go ahead and have some relaxation, have some time to yourself, because honestly, at the end of the day, that's what we're coming here for to have. And if we're stealing that because we're being too friendly, I don't know, slowly but surely they're going to find someone else just for that one reason.
And they may not even know that is why they are leaving you. They just might on an off chance try somebody new and say, oh wow, like I don't get treated like this at Christine's or at Anya's. And guys, I've caught myself doing this. I've caught myself being so friendly with my clients that I do. I'm like giving them a massage and I'm just talking the whole time. And I've a couple times, and sometimes your clients will talk and sometimes you say, hey, shh.
Yeah, sometimes you have to tell them to be quiet.
Yeah, shh, we're going to be quiet because they forget, because they think they're your friend. So yes, first and foremost, it's going to impact the professional service that you are providing. And then secondly, you begin to feel guilty for charging them, because now, like, have you ever had a price increase, for instance, and you don't increase your prices for your longtime clients because they're your longtime clients and somehow you feel guilty about it? These things start to happen. You start to feel guilty for having business practices within your business that are natural and normal, and you need to perform in order to thrive and grow and be successful and continue providing that professional service.
Stop and reflect on that for a second. Out of your clientele, how many of them get a discount on your current pricing that's on your menu? How many times do you go to ring them up and you literally start modifying prices because you're like, well, you know, a couple years ago I started doing her hair and she was only paying this amount for her highlights. I can't charge her that much. We've all done it. It's undermining your business. And I remember my business coach a couple years ago saying, like, dollar for dollar, if you add up all of those little discounts, it's like thousands of dollars. It's ridiculous. Like if you give $20 or $30 or $40 off of someone's bill and you times that by how many times you do that per year, it's enough to go on vacation.
Yeah. Like, don't you want to go on vacation?
Yeah.
I'm sure you've complained that it's not in your budget. Could be. It could be. Hi, we got a few people joining us here.
Amanda's here. Autumn's here. Awesome. We got a few newbies here too. Thanks for joining us.
We're just talking about why you can't be friends with your clients. We're just diving in, so you're here at the perfect time. So yes, A, you don't give them professional service. B, you stop making the money you should be making.
Yeah. So when it comes to increasing your prices, you've got to do it across the board. Okay, so when you make a decision that your haircut, just as an example, that you're going to go up from $65 to $70, you do it for every single customer. Now, there are ways in which you implement that price increase that you do in a professional manner so that clients are aware that it's happening. Some of the ways I do it are through station talkers or through my email marketing that I send out. I'll just keep people a heads up that it's going to go up. But it doesn't matter where they are in their lifespan with me as a hairdresser, that price is going to increase. Now it's up to them whether they want to book that next appointment at that new price. I'm not fearful of losing people. If they're no longer in my target market of customer and I'm above their price point for what they're willing to spend on a haircut, that's okay. That's going to leave space for a new person to come into my life. Yes, you have an idea.
I have a really good idea. So this is how we get into like a conversation about non-attachment. You cannot be attached to your clients for so many reasons, and that's why we say you cannot be their friends, because the more you create this attachment with them, you create this dependency on them, the more it's going to be difficult for you to grow past them. I'm sure you have a social life, right? And your social life isn't where you work. I mean, it's easy when you work in an environment like we do as hairstylists, as beauty professionals, anybody who's with somebody for a long period of time in a vulnerable space where you're touching them and you're discussing life. But if your appointment is more gossiping about your life and their life, the less it is about what they actually came to you for. But that's what Sparkle, you said, you're not afraid to lose clients is because you're not attached to them like that.
That was a huge change for me when I went into business on my own. So when I worked elsewhere and I was on commission, there was a big push to like save every single client. And for a long time, I believe that was true. You do whatever it is to save those clients. I completely disagree with that now. There is different seasons of my business. My business shifts. I specialize in something. Perhaps in a couple of years, I'll be shifting into another realm. I'm going to lose clients when I make those decisions. those decisions are what have made this business so enjoyable for me, is that I'm following my intuition. I'm making changes, but I am not so worried about the clients that may or may not come back. I have a great reference list of where my clients can go. If the money issue comes up and they say, oh, your haircut's getting a bit expensive or something awkward like that, no problem. I understand. I've actually got some great contacts that I have in the building that would probably love to see you. I think you would match up really well for them. It's all in the verbiage that you use, and then you leave it in there. The ball's in their court at that point. You're not trying to save them. You're letting them make a decision on what's appropriate for them.
Think about some of the things that may have slipped through the cracks with your clients. Take a moment and think about each one of these. Like, have you forgot to greet each person professionally? Are you feeling guilty for increasing your prices?
Are you consulting with your clients? A lot of times when people know someone, they just start mixing the color. They sit down and they're mixing the color, and they're not even like, what are we doing today? What changes did you want to see? I feel like it's really, really important that you address their concerns about their hair. How's your hair feeling? Is it dry? Is it frizzy? Is it staticky? You can't skip that, because the moment you skip that, then they're no longer being treated by a professional. They're being treated by a friend.
And I've caught myself doing this. They barely sat in the chair. I'm already turned around. I'm at the color bar. I'm pulling the colors. I don't even ask them, do you want to change today? It is actually statistically proven that you should be suggesting change every 3 visits for your clients.
Yeah.
Why do we suggest change for our clients? It's because that lets them know that you've been thinking about them, you've been preparing for their appointment, and I've been thinking about your hair, and I was thinking maybe you might want to change. And you say, oh, well, I don't have to do this because this person never changes. It doesn't matter.
They can say no.
They may always say no, but they will feel very special that you are thinking of them. Absolutely. And that change might include an upgrade of services. That might include, and you might also not be offering change. And again, I've caught myself doing this. I don't offer change because I've spent so much time with this person. They're always saying how they're on a budget. Oh, they're not going to want a little bit of crown highlights.
You've already decided for them.
And I've decided for them as their friend that I am not going to inconvenience them.
Yeah. Or charge them more, right? Because you get this like, I'm going to have to ask more money of them. Again, you let them decide. You make that effort to show them that you're willing to make a change, and then let them make the decision. When I hear people saying, well, my clients wouldn't, or well, my clients would, when you make general blanket statements like that, you're closing doors. You're closing doors, and when you close doors, it generally means that your income is going to flatline.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely. You're not going to grow.
Yeah.
You're not going to grow.
How often have you stayed late beyond your hours because someone is your friend client or your sister-in-law or your mother-in-law, or you've come in on your Monday to do a friend's or family member's hair, and you're not even, we coach being charging more than your regular rate when you're staying after hours, and now we're charging less. So what does that equal? Resentment.
Absolutely.
Scan yourself for resentment constantly, because where those little pings and pangs of like, I don't want to do this, your gut instinct is telling you something. And the moment you ignore that, you build resentment, right?
Yes.
And that's not good.
No, absolutely not. I'm just now thinking about my client list and my experience. And when you've been doing this for 10 years, like over 10 years, you have those constants.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, if anybody wants to pop in, ask a question in regards to any of this, like honestly, feel free. We're watching your comments. I see you there on Instagram. We see you here.
Some of our girlfriends are in here.
And for Rachel, who's asking a question, we can answer that in a DM for you.
Yeah.
So yes, happy to have you all here.
Awesome.
Other things that may happen when you start becoming friends with your clients is now you're all of a sudden they're messaging you on your private phone line, discussing their appointments with you, discussing their hair. All of a sudden they just think that they could send you like on a random Sunday, like, next time, can we do this to my hair?
And that's not their fault. That is
No.
you not drawing clear boundaries. If you go back to a few weeks ago, we talked about boundaries. If you don't set clear boundaries with people, they don't intentionally want to like mess up your night and annoy you. They just don't know what your expectations of them are. Like booking, or so some people will think that they don't have to book ahead of time. You'll get a call from your friend that they want to come in next week, and you're like, dude, you have any idea how like scheduled I am? I can't squeeze you in on next Saturday. Or they think that they can get away with not paying you before they leave. So I'll send you the money later.
I'll send you an e-transfer later on when I get to my car.
Right.
Because they think that because you treat them like a friend, they don't have to act like a client.
Right.
Because you don't treat them like a client, you treat them like a friend.
And again, it's not their fault. It's that you need to be clear on what your expectations are and what needs to be done in salon, and treating them like a client is going to show them that you're following the exact same pattern as the rest of the people who come in here. Oh, I was going to say lateness, tardiness, or last minute cancellations tend to come from the people that we know the best.
Yes.
Sometimes
the people that are supposed to be your friends.
Yes. They text you and they're like, oh, I'm going to be 15 minutes late. And you're like, my clients aren't late. My regular clients know that they're going to miss their appointment. My friends are bad about like texting me and saying they're coming late.
Yeah, they start to act
so there's
like
no respect.
Like some sort of VIPs or something.
Or they show up with their lunch and their coffee and they're 15 minutes late. And you're like, dude, come on. But once again, it's setting that precedent that they are not a client, they're a friend. So how do you want your days at work to go? Right?
Yeah. If you're not professional, they're not going to be professional.
Do you get uncomfortable when it comes to educating and selling retail to your friends and family? Because when someone goes to see a professional, they want to get professional opinions on the quality of their hair, which they should be using at home, product-wise, how do they style. Sometimes when you get too friendly with people, you just start putting product in their hair, right? You start to get mousse, you put a little smoothing cream, and before you know it, you're blow drying, and you haven't even mentioned what you've put in their hair. A number of times I've had clients that come in and have no idea what's been done to their hair. Did I have highlights? Did I have full or partial? I don't know. That means the stylist that did their hair before wasn't communicating effectively on you should never be touching someone without telling them what you're doing to them. You don't have to get too scientific and technical, but someone should know what's being put in their hair.
Absolutely.
Right?
Just checking here.
It's only hurting you if you're not educating your clients on the product, because these people are going to go buy their product somewhere else.
Yeah.
Maybe they are using substandard product on their hair, and now they're going to come back to you, and family members tend to be very frank and very honest about their hair. And then they will look at you like, well, how come my color didn't last? Well, did you recommend them to take home the color treatment shampoo and conditioner? Or are they going home and using crap? Treat them like your clients.
Yeah, right? Or did you spend way more time talking about their ex-boyfriend or talking about, I don't know, what they did over the weekend than you did about giving them the recommendations, the expertise that they come to you for? I do have a sign in my studio that says a hairstylist is cheaper than a therapist. Mm-hmm. Yes, that is a perk of the job. But when we talk about, being friendly, I think the way you can create the non-attachment for me is I have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. It's okay for them to talk about their ex or them to talk about whatever is currently going on in their lives, but let them talk.
Right. As for people that are writing us, the font is like size 6 and it's really like I have to literally lean in to read it. It's really, really awkward. So,
okay, Julia wants to know, how do you handle rewarding long-term clients who patronize your new business when you first open? The temptation is to give them a special treatment, i.e. rewards like discounts, free services, etc.
Well, how? Well, my only suggestion there, Julia, would be that you're offering them, something for something. I tell my clients, hey, I have plenty of ways for you to save. You can refer refer clients for a $20 discount. You can leave me a Google review for a 15% discount on your next visit. If they feel like there's no way to save, I'm sure that you can create, or I'm pretty sure, Julia, you have created and implemented programs where they have the option to save. But you're never going to just give them a special price just because they've been seeing you for a long time.
Yeah.
If they want to support you and be loyal because they love you, then they're not, like, if they want a discount, then they're not seeing you for the right reasons. You never want someone to come and see you because you're cheap.
Oh God, that's like our number one thing, right? You don't want anyone to describe you as the cheap one. And I know, Julia, you run a great business, and I think you do a great job doing it.
Yeah.
But I think we have to be careful about where we do offer discounts. One thing that's becoming more popular in the US, not quite as much in Canada, is rewards programs.
Yeah.
They're a bit finicky to run, so you're basically be giving your clients points for pre-booking, giving Facebook reviews or Google reviews, and then based on the things that they've done, you're giving them points. Based on their points, you're rewarding them with retail discounts or service discounts or whatever, but they're working for you. Mm-hmm. So there's an exchange in energy there. If it's only going one direction, we're breeding, what was the word I used before? We're no longer happy to do their hair, we're resentful.
Yes.
So wherever there's resentment, take a step back and think about what could be done to even out that energy exchange.
Yeah, let me know if that's helpful, Julia. I'd also say, it's plain and simple. Your business, I know that you're new to Salon Suites. It's changed for you right now. And explaining to them that your business has changed, and yet your prices have to reflect that of the experience you're providing them with now.
Oopsies. Sorry, guys.
And if they leave, then you just have to let them go, because again, because you're cheap is not a reason. You're a fantastic esthetician, and I think you're more than worth what
a quality clientele takes a little bit longer to build than a discount clientele.
It does. If you want to do Groupon,
if you want butts in the chair, or you want butts in your bed, I guess,
or your bed,
depending on if you're an esthetician or a hairdresser.
Yeah.
You're going to go through Groupon, but then you're not going to get probably the retention that you're hoping for.
Yeah.
You'll be busy. It makes you a little bit more known. Maybe you'll get some Google reviews out of it. There's going to be something that you'll get out of it, but it really probably won't be monetary.
No.
So keep that in mind when you're running those types of things.
Quality clients we're looking for. Quality, not quantity. And as Christine said, a quality clientele takes time to build.
Right. And side note here, guys, if you do have downtime and you're bored and you feel like, oh, I've got gaps in between my clients, that's when you should be working on your business, not in your business, on your business. Have your notebook with you. Have your, your phone or your laptop handy at work so you can pull it out and work on your website, work on your social, do a little audit of what you need to do for that quarter or whatever. I love my downtime now because I'm like, I can get stuff done. And a lot of people have a bad vibe when they have free time, right? And I feel like free time is when you proactively build your business, not reactively, but proactively.
Yeah, and certainly being in a salon, that might look a little bit different. That might mean you need to distance yourself from the busy lunchroom. But anyway, staying on task.
Okay, so we're just going to go through and review the things that you can change.
Oh, but there's one thing that you talked about that I really about yourself complaining.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because we just talked about like letting your client, if they want to talk, then you talk. But like, do you complain about anything to your clients?
Your coworkers?
About your coworkers?
Your other clients? Your boss?
Do you ever, and this, Christine told me, tell them that you said this.
Yeah.
I caught myself complaining about another client. And that's what that makes you, and this is when you feel too friendly.
Yes.
And this is when you feel too friendly, and I caught myself doing it. And of course I'm like, oh, but I don't ever feel that way about you, like not clients like you. That should never come out because everyone should be treated equally. Yeah. That like, it just, nobody's ever going to come to you to hear you complain and pay for it. Like,
we all have the thoughts.
Yeah.
It's practicing, realizing when you're doing these things and stopping it, right? You might be tempted to gossip about the person who works next to you or your boss or the whole vibe of the salon that you work in. But guess what? When I see new guests they won't tell you, but they'll come to me and say the place I was going to before, either A, my hairdresser's in a hard place or something's going on.
Yes, I've
She's
had
depressed
this.
or anxious or
Yeah.
she's in, her relationship's not good, but she effed up my hair, which is not necessarily the case, but they don't want someone who's all frazzled like working on them. Or there's the working environment where they sense the tension in between the staff members and they're like, ooh, like that.
Yeah.
We all project energy. Anya and I are big energy people. We do yoga. We're very cognizant of like the energy that we put out to each other and to other people. And if you bring that energy into the salon environment, your clients will not know why you're upset, but they will leave going, ooh, yuck, I feel gross.
And secondly, they're going to think, what is she or he saying about me as a client to other clients?
Yes.
If they're saying this about another client, it just doesn't look good on you whatsoever. And I've had plenty of clients come to me and say, I love my last hairdresser, but honestly, she just spent the whole time complaining. She's in a really bad place, but the whole time complaining about her boyfriend and like leaving me to go text him and then coming back. And then it's okay if this is you. And I know you being the person who's doing this is out there, but you have to be aware. You must be aware, because no one's going to continue to give you money to sit there and complain. I once was getting a massage, and someone complained at me the entire time.
And they're touching you.
And they're touching me
like
while they're complaining. They're literally transferring
Yeah.
their negative energy through skin-on-skin contact.
Yeah.
But that's a conversation for
That's
another
that's
time.
a whole we'll
That's
have
a
to do an
chakra
episode on
alignment and
exactly.
and some crystal healing.
It's true. Crystals.
Talk
Put
about
some
energy.
quartz into your salon.
Yes.
It's very protective of energy. It
Perfect.
might seem a little bit crazy, but they're
all
my
over
salon.
Christine's salon.
because I'm protecting myself.
All right, so back to it. Let's wrap her up.
Sorry, I'm like ruffling my papers here. Okay, so we're gonna kind of go through the ways that you can, the change that you can have in your career to sort of start making more money and taking this into a more professional direction, right? So treating each guest equally, really, really important. Kind of going back to what we were saying before about not treating your really, really special guests specially and your friend guests not so special and some other people in the middle. No, we go through the same routine with each client. We consult, we do their services, we give them a nice scalp massage, we make them a coffee, we give them magazines, we let them have some time of tranquility in their chair. We do that for every single person. Now how you do things might be differently, but just make sure it doesn't change person to person depending on who you're working on.
Talk less about yourself, talk more about them, be professional, talk about products, talk about what you're there to do.
Friends and family are wonderful in your life. They may not be the proper guests for your business. It's not even personal.
And we didn't really give our person. I do have some friends, some family that come and see me. They understand, they pay. The price is the same across the board. Their price is the same as my client price. I offer them a 20% family and friends discount.
And that's fine as long as you're fine.
And it's on my and they book an appointment online like a regular client, and they know what the price is and they receive a 20% discount. They experience price increases just the same. Just in case you're wondering, because I know there's a lot of people out there when you're a hairstylist and when you're a beauty professional that want to receive services from you. I'm not saying you can't, but that's just the way to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And if they are not willing to pay your price, do what Christine does and let them go.
Yeah.
Right? And then you'll have a hole to fill for a new guest who would like to come and see you at your current rates that are listed on your website. And you can go through the whole marketing funnel aspect of that, but as long as you've got a good funnel in place, someone else is going to call and ask for that appointment, and it's okay. Okay. Friends and family may have a hard time seeing you as a professional. This is a big one. When someone's grown up with you, a friend, say your best friend from childhood, maybe even your parents, sometimes they won't trust your professional opinion, right? Because they look at you and they're like, oh, no, she doesn't know what she's talking about. I've known her for a long time. There's this weird, awkward, relationship that you have going back 10 or 11 years, and suddenly, you're giving advice, but they're not really looking at you as the professional. That's one thing that sucks about knowing someone really, really well. Creating working boundaries. So that framework of what's appropriate, you're setting that in place from the moment you start doing your client's hair, and you continue with that framework for the entirety of the time they see you. So there should be no blurring of lines on what is appropriate to, what times are appropriate to text, how we book our appointments, when we show up for appointments, how long before we cancel if we need to cancel. All those things, those rules are for everybody across the board, not just clients. And that's really, really important so that you are not resentful toward them.
Making sure that you are always being a beauty professional. You have the knowledge, you need to share it. You need to talk about the things that people got. There's something new, you need to be educated on it. You just went to a class, you let them know. Those are topics that should be discussed behind the chair. The classes you've gone to, the new thing you've learned, the technique that you're using,
Yes.
the way that you're going to change their hair. I mean, there's a long list of
Right.
topics you can use. And when you've gone through that, then sure, get into it. How was your last trip? What have you been up to? Update them. Absolutely. My clients want to know what I'm doing in my life. But
salon
first
comes first.
But first, their hair.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hair comes first. Cutting out gossip. This is probably, like, I want an asterisk on the sides of this one. Cutting out gossip. It can be a really, really bad habit of hairdressers to talk gossip with each other and with their clients.
Yeah, maybe it's
I'm
just
not
your
sure
coworker and you're doing it over there and you think your client can't hear, but you're ruining their experience by being, chatty Cathy over there and gossiping with your coworkers. People can tell.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, it's a no-brainer, really. Gossip's bad. It's great. I like to eliminate it completely. I don't even have gossip magazines in my studio.
It's true. I've actually thought
negative.
about getting rid of them as well, because
Yeah,
there's really
it's gossip.
no.
How can we say, oh, don't gossip in here, and there's gossip magazines right there? It's just negative energy, as they say. Small minds talk about others, big minds talk about ideas. So
I know people will be thinking, okay, the girl that works beside me drives me crazy, but that's the reality of where I work. I work with people that gossip and whatever. I can't get away from it. Sometimes you need to reevaluate your workplace.
Mm-hmm.
You need to think about whether it's the right place for you.
Yeah.
A lot of people will stay at salons out of fear. They'll keep doing discounted services for family and friends out of fear. Anytime you feel fear, there's some uncomfortableness that comes with it. But you have to push through it, and that's when you're going to see major growth. So both Audie and I reached our goals financially for 2019. Part of it was charging appropriately for the services we were offering. And would you agree that by actually increasing the prices for certain people, that bottom line goes up by like 15-20% just because of the amount or the less the discounts that you're not giving out to every third person.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Just put simply, comfort zone right here, growth all the way around that. You're not going to grow in here. You're going to stay in this teeny tiny little circle of comfort, and that's great. You get to show up every day and have predictability in your life. You get to experience the same thing over and over again. Believe me, you're going to get bored and you're going to wonder, why am I bored? Oh, it's because I'm uncomfortable. I want this next thing, but like it causes discomfort within me. And you actually think that you're serving yourself by not stepping into that discomfort. But really what you're doing is you're pushing down all the things you want. And with the discomfort is not going forward, but the discomfort comes from staying where you are right now. And so then your soul just is like chomping at the bit to make a change.
So the caveat to you can't be friends with your clients is that everyone needs to be treated like a client and charged like a client. And at the end of the day, if you do the things that we talked about, you're going to see your prices or your overall income, your gross income increase. Now, if any of you have questions, we would love to hear your response down in the comments below.
Yep.
If there's anybody that you think could benefit from watching this video, please tag them or share this video wherever you would like to. We would love to reach more hairdressers. It's a little bit difficult to get out there these days on Facebook and Instagram, but we're trying to grow this community. We really, really want to help you guys. We're really We're passionate about what we're doing with this stuff. So feel free to share this information with whoever you think would benefit from it.
Absolutely. And if you're too shy to comment, then send us a DM. We'd love to talk to you. We'd love to help you out. We're here for you, and we'll be here next Monday.
That's right. Join us at 12 o'clock or 12:30. Not sure on the timing there, but check back with us for next week for our next live. We're coming to you from Toronto here at Chroma Salon.
Yeah.
And we'd be happy to hear you, have you at our next live, and let us know what you're thinking about our topic today.
Have a wonderful week, guys.
All right. We'll see you later.
See you later.
Peace out, guys.